What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, YouTube? I'm having some technical difficulties, but you know what how it goes. You gotta keep on moving. You gotta keep on pushing. But I do apologize for the audio technical difficulties. We'll work through them. We'll be all right. We will be all right. All right. We are live in the den. How y'all doing this Thursday evening? I hope you're doing all right. I'm not doing too bad myself. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves, paying attention to your bodies, doing all that stuff I try to teach and preach to you on a weekly basis. Um, I guess we go ahead and start off with that. You know what I'm saying? We want to give our prayers out to the brother mediocre tutorials and reviews. We all know the situation he is going through, and I kind of had a little scare myself with that situation being I want to go into great detail, but if you go into my video catalog, you'll see a video of me talking about me going to the doctor and them telling me that I had platelets that rose. I think your platelets do supposed to be within 150 to 450 parts per million, and mine went from a 480 to a 509 in 1 year. So they kind of threw out the things that they always throw out, you know what I'm saying? The hinted towards the C word, and I've kind of been on pins and needles all week until we got to the doctor and I got the all clear. We will continue to monitor my situation, but if I didn't go to the doctor, if I didn't get those checkups like a lot of us don't like to do, then we wouldn't even known that about that potential issue. So I'm gonna continue to tell everybody to make sure you take care of yourself, make sure you go get those checkups, make sure you do everything that you can do to keep yourselves healthy and to be around as long as you can for your friends and family and your loved ones. All right. Know the title and what we're going to be the topic and what we're going to be focused around tonight is what we've been hearing in the YouTube streets for the last few days. Are women, modern women, too masculine? Are they too masculine? Are they too masculine for marriage? That's the number one question. But, I asked the question, are they too masculine altogether? And a lot of people say yes, a lot of people, are indecisive or don't even care. But if you are in the space and if you follow Kevin Samuels, and if you have been following Kevin Samuels for the last few months, he said that, it's time for men to broaden their scope or broaden their horizons and start looking towards other options than the women, the black women, African American women in the community. It's time to start looking out. It's time to start taking care of yourselves first and not to worry about the women and let the market, the sexual marketplace, even itself out. Now, he got a lot of kickback. He got a lot of heat for saying what he said, but it got me to thinking: should men do it? Not myself. Because I'm married. I'm happily married. I don't have to worry about that. But it's a lot of young brothers. You can from all different walks of life, all different categories, and all different regions of the United States and abroad that are doing the same thing, that are saying that look, it is time for us to start broadening our horizons. Because you look at it like this: the women are doing it. You got the swirl movement. You got the women saying that they want to divest, they want to do what they want to do, they want to go out and get a Brad, they want to go out and live their life. They say they're tired of black men. They say that the black men aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing in the community, and they're not doing what they want to do as far as to their liking. So they're already participating in the swirl movements. But I say it like this: how many times can, or how many ways and how many different avenues can the men in the space ask you to change and ask you to do things different, and you don't? It's a lot of things in the community or in the community, I'll say it like that, that black men have already seen and already know about. They just didn't say anything. See, our men, the majority of our men in our community have grown up in a gynocracy, or a not a patriarchy, but a matriarchy, where the women are pedestalized, and most of the fault, or most of the blame for the negative aspects in the community, always come around on the men. And the men are saying they're tired of this because, the women aren't taking accountability for their role in the negative aspects and the negative things that they allow to happen in the community, and they're getting sick and tired of it. It's like, you got women on one side wanting to cheat the market, cheat the sexual marketplace, and you got a whole bunch of men on the other side to say they're done. You got women saying that they don't have to come to the men. The men should come to them. And if you look at it, the women, the odds just aren't in your favor. The men don't have to come to you, because you look at it biologically. There are twice as many women on this planet than they are men, and that's the way it's made up. Men are meant to spread the seed and continue to populate the earth and continue to spread the human gene around the world. That's what we're meant to do. Now, monogamy has been a fairly new thing to the world. Humans, in general, mammals aren't meant to be monogamous, but we do. We show it as a sign. We do it as a sign of respect. We do it as a sign of loyalty, and it's okay. It's all good. We do that because we know that, especially if you have a good woman, or if you are plan on getting a good woman, that this is more than likely going to be what the woman wants you to be, monogamous. There's not many women, or there's not many groups of people that want to live in a polyamorous or polygamous lifestyle, but more and more women are doing that because, look, just like I said, the odds aren't in your favor. The odds aren't in your favor to wait. The odds aren't in your favor to sit around and wait till you're 30, 40, 50 years old to find your mate. And it's just not, the odds aren't just there for you to do that. Look, you can try. You can say, look, that um some of the famous people did it. Gabrielle Union did it. You look at Serena Williams and you say, well, Serena Williams did it. She's a high caliber woman. She waited. She got her Brad, and so on and so forth. But I'm telling you, look at it. Look at these examples. For instance, if you look at the swirlers, they have the Serena Williamses. They have everybody like that, and it's their go-to. But you fail to realize that these aren't normal women. These aren't normal situations. We always look to superstars in our community as the standard, and that shouldn't be. We shouldn't look to these stars that's out in the universe as our norm, as our set point. As our go-to for everything good in life. We sit there and pedestalize these people, and then when we're done trying to chase these dreams and aspirations to be like these people, we end up on the losing side. So go back to me saying, are women too masculine? Me in general, I'm gonna say, I'm speaking generally, not all women. We're not gonna say all women in our community is masculine or fit that masculine archetype. But if you look at it in general, most of them are, and you could say all kind of things. You could say that, well, if the men were in the home, we wouldn't be masculine. If we had those masculine caretakers, if we had those masculine helpmeets, then we wouldn't have to be masculine. And we could take the more feminine role. But I'm gonna call BS on that, because a lot of you women from then on to now want the roughneck type, or already with the roughneck type. So how are you in a relationship with that type of person, with that type of man, and you are still saying that you don't have a masculine person in your home, therefore you are having to take up this masculine role. And it's okay, it's okay. We know how it is. We know how it goes. Let me move this over here. So, the women, the masculine women, the masculine archetype, the masculine woman that is gone unchecked for years and years have finally broken the men in the community. That's what's happening now. You have a like Kevin says, you have a group of women that are rebellious. You have that rebellious and or Jezebel spirit. You don't want to be told. You don't want to be told that you have things that need to be fixed. You don't want to be told that you aren't exactly what the man or the normal or the average man would want. You don't want to be told to correct the situations or correct the attitudes or the things that could potentially help you find a mate. So where are we? We're at a standstill. You know, you know. A man can only do so much. A man can only get beat. A man can only get chastised. A man can only do so much as when he's until he's backed in the corner and like a rabid dog bites back. Let me show you something real quick. I've seen this video. Most of you probably seen this video from World Star. I'm gonna try to play as much as I can. Now, do you see the amount of hits? Do you see the amount of hits that he took before he put her in this section? Do, do you see that, people? Do you see that? Track slipping. For one, we're gonna say, look, if the tables was turned and a dude jumped on him like that, or a dude jumped on a girl like that and started beating on the woman like he was beating on her, you already know what would have happened. You already know. We ain't got to talk about that, but let's continue. That right there is the face of masculine. Let's pull it back just a second. Look at that. Is that the face of feminine? Is that the feminine, beautiful, inspirational woman that every one of you women on the internet claim to be? Now I don't know if she was drunk. It looked like they were a little inebriated. When I seen it, looked like they were a little tipsy already. I don't know. But you could tell this is the kind of woman, or this is the kind of thing. This kind of thing is not unnatural or irregular to them. You can kind of tell that this kind of stuff goes all over and over, happens over and over with them. And she's still going. Look at it and fell out. So wild hyena in action. This is abuse. At this point, this is abuse. This is assault and abuse. And I'm telling you, fellas, if you in a situation like this, it ain't enough booty in the world to keep you there. Get out of there. Get out of there. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. This is the same. This isn't new. This is the same thing a lot of men go through in the community, in the community. This is a lot of the same kind of thing that goes on over and over again, and when men are held accountable, we're deadbeats. We don't pay the child support that we should pay. We don't do this, we don't do that. But when you ask women to be accountable, what is wrong with you sisters? Why aren't you holding them accountable? This is all you hear. It's all you hear. It's crickets. When you try to hold them accountable, when you ask them why aren't you talking to your sisters, or why aren't you trying to lead your sisters, or why aren't you trying to do something different? That's all you hear. You don't hear anything. The best you can get, or the best you can ever see, or the best you ever hear is, well, I'm me, or you hear the same thing, or I'm the table, or I'm this, or I'm that. And the man should do this, and the man should do that. And now you come to a point to where men are just saying, screw it. We're just going to move away, just like you guys are saying you want to do. We're going to say we're going to just go out and divest. Men are saying this. You can see it now. Why not open up the market, freely? And like Kevin Samuel said last night, open it up and then re-welcome the brothers back into the community that we shun for moving out, for divesting. Because you do it. You do it, especially the women. The women know anytime you see a man that makes it and gets successful and he decides to move out of the community, you excommunicate him, you kick him out of the community, you revoke his black card, you exile him, and then the brother is just shamed or doesn't come back. You think he's going to be sad that he doesn't come back? And then you try to do this, and you are sadly mistaken, or you come to the sad realization that you just don't have the options that a lot of these guys have, if they're average guys, or if they are more of the high value guy. You just don't have the options because they are more women on the planet than they are men. It's just simple mathematics. Now, you ask women, are they going to continue to do this? They probably are. You get a lot of men that say, well, we don't want to do that. We don't want to leave our sisters. We don't want to actually split the community. But what can you do? Complain. A lot of men complain about the kind of men that want, the kind of men that women want. Archetype. The thug, the Pookie and Ray Ray. But let's be honest. There's nothing we could do about the type of woman or type of man that these women want. There's nothing that you can do, and it's time This is for the fellas. It's time for you to get over it, dust yourself off, and realize that you got to go for what you can get. Either you're going to get up and make yourself better and go get either the woman outside of the race, or make your options better for yourself, or you're going to continue to sit there in a rut and worry about what these women want. You know, you can either get a little bit of game about yourself. Shout out to DJ Cuda. You're going to get that little bit of game, make yourself more appealing to the ladies, or you're going to sit there and cry about it. What are you going to do? Because these women aren't doing anything different. They're continuing to be masculine. They're continuing to do what they want to do. Monopolize, try to act like they're in a monopoly, like Kevin said last night. Try to act like they're in a monopoly. Sit there and wait for you to come to them because they are the prize, and sit there and not have any results, or sit there and complain that nobody's coming to them. See, women don't want to work. That's something else that I came to the realization of in the last few weeks. Women don't want to work. They've been used to men pandering and coming to their every aid and coming to their every beck and call and whim, and not wanting to work. That's why you get a lot of women just saying, well, you're going to take me as I am, or why can't I go get why doesn't he want me after I go get my degree, my bachelor's, my master's, my PhDs? Why doesn't he want me? Because I am a hot commodity. When they don't realize that men don't want anything to do with your money. We already have come to the realization that your money is your money and our money is your money when we with you. So your money means absolutely zero to us. So that doesn't mean anything to us. So we at this fork in the road. And I understand what Kevin is saying. He's an advocate for guys. He's an advocate for the high value man. He's an advocate for the middle class man, the hardworking man. And if you look at it, and if you take a back seat, pull yourself out and look at it, the middle class dude is getting shit on. That either all the women want the high value guy, or all the women want the Pookie and Ray Ray, and all the men are in the middle, not getting anything. That's what I'm saying. They're not getting anything. They're just sitting there, and what should they do? Should they just sit there and wait and get the leftovers or the slops of the community, or should they move on to a nice woman outside of the community, a nice middle class woman that'll take them? What would you do? See, this is a problem that that middle class people in other races don't have. And I've seen it. We've all seen it, especially if you're in the workplace, or you've been to college, or you've seen your girlfriends and guy friends from other communities. They can go get, the men or the women can go get a 6-figure job, and they'll take a middle class man because they know they're going to need each other. They're not going to be super rich. They're not going to be millionaires. Yes, they make good money, but ultimately you need each other to stick together, to put combined incomes, to be able to save and to be able to retire, and to be able to have a good future. You can't do that by yourself. Number one, most women, not all, but most women do not know how to save money. A lot of women, if they are career women and they do get money, what do? Because what are we trying to do? What are the Gen X's and what are the baby boomers teach us to do with our money? You get your money, and then what? You turn around and spend it because you worked hard, and you might as well spend it. No, they don't teach you to put your money in 401k, put your money in 401k, diversify your portfolios, save it, buy real estate, buy land. Most of us aren't taught to do that. So what happens? We end up spending all the money, women mostly, buying Gucci bags, buying Prada bags, buying everything you want because you worked hard for it. You went to school for 6, 7, 8 years after high school, so you deserve it. And then you put yourself in a position to where you can't save because you're in debt. You're in a downward spiral, and you're stuck. But you're independent, and you don't need no man because you can pay your rent, you can pay your mortgage. The guys are getting tired. So do I think women are masculine? Yeah, I think women are masculine. I've had a whole lot of debates on YouTube with women that are masculine. I have women tell me that if because they make more than the average man, they shouldn't have to cook, clean, or do anything else in the house like that. Which is very offensive because I am the breadwinner. A lot of men can say the same thing, that they are breadwinners. And what do? Sometimes they cook for their wives. Sometimes they clean for their wives. Sometimes they do everything that the other spouse would do, because why? It's their home. It's the place. It's the place where they lay their head at too, and they shouldn't. You shouldn't feel too big to be to do these things. So why all of a sudden, when you get in that position, you shouldn't have to do all of those things? Men don't want to worry about that. Men aren't going to don't go not going to worry about that, and they don't want to get in those situations where they have to combat a woman to do those regular things, because that now they feel too high and mighty to do them. This is why the men are saying, "Look, it's probably a good idea that we start trying something else." This is why the men are saying there's no hope for the community. This is why the men are saying that the women are too far gone. The only thing they care about is twerking and getting Pookie and getting knocked up by Pookie and Ray Ray, because they don't want to get married. They'll have the babies first. They'll have their babies. They'll have babies all over the place, but they won't get married. It's a lot scarier to get married than it is to have a baby, I guess. This is why the men are saying what they're saying all around the internet. This is why they're saying what they're saying in the space, and they're going to continue to say, and they're going to continue to speak up for themselves, because men, they're just tired. So I asked you, women, do you think you're too masculine? And if you do, what are you going to do about it? All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I didn't want to make it too long. I just wanted to give another live update, mess around with the system, try to do something different. You guys continue to take care of yourself, brothers. Beware, because there's a lot of roadblocks out there. There's a lot of hurdles. There's a lot of people that don't mean you any good and only want you for your wallet. And we know what happens when you get with a woman that only wants your wallet. All right, guys, I am out of here. Until next time. Peace.